Good afternoon and welcome to this webinar organized by UCAM Spanish Sports University. My name is Laura Nieto and I am the academic coordinator of the MBA Sport Management program in Murcia. And for me, it's a pleasure to be here introducing the second session of the Spanish Sport University e-week in English and sharing this afternoon with people from all over the world. First of all, I would like to thank Javier, Doña, and Beau Tabakci to be with us. We know that you have a tight schedule. And I would also thank UCAM and especially my co-workers, Juan and José Carlos, who are working really hard to make this possible. Our first speaker, Javier Doña, has a large experience as a Stadia and Arena supervisor. We have the great pleasure to count on him in our program as lecturer. Our second speaker, Beau Tabakci, is alumni of the MBA Sport Management program and works as Employee Experience and Development Assistant at Seattle Seahawks. They are going to talk about sport facilities management during COVID crisis, and each one will expose the presentation in about 20 minutes. Now, I'm going to explain some rules that we need to respect in order to make easy the development of conferences. First, please do not touch any button during the presentation. This makes the speaker difficult his intervention. At the end of the presentation, it will be open a question and answer session in which you will be able to ask your questions. To do so, we will use the chat. To make a question, please write your real name and specify the speaker to whom is the question addressed. It would be great if you could make the questions as concise as possible. Javier, I give you the floor. Enjoy the afternoon, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here again with you, with all the guys involved in the university, and I hope all the students enjoy the talk with the two another great speaker. Okay, so let's begin with the subject. But as you know, for the moment we are not in a great period and through an ideal period in all terms. It's not just for stadium, but for the whole industry in the professional sports. So what we have now is a situation that is difficult to tackle, okay, due to the restriction that we have due to the coronavirus, and well, we need to overcome this situation with creativity, with mindset and with positive mindset, and well, with a lot of work. Okay, so according to the last news, well, it's difficult to see if we are going to open the door, but for sure we are going to resume the competition behind the closed door. Okay, this is true. So the impact is going to be massive in the business, and the impact is going to be massive in the product and in the spectacle, as we are going to see. Okay, maybe we are hearing some news the last week that are not certainties, but is trying to communicate that there are hopes to see the stadium open at the end of the summer and opening the next season with maybe a percentage of the capacity. Now, a percentage of the capacity. Well, these are just some statements that come from the government. Okay, in the case of Spanish government. And well, we'll see if are true, because for sure are depending on the evolution of the pandemic. Okay, so let's talk with the reality, with the certainties that we have now. Okay, and what we have now is the stadium is going to be closed at the beginning of the resume of the competition. Okay, so What's the meaning of this? Well, I always say to my students for a long time, from the beginning of my classes, in all the programs that I am involved in teaching this subject about Stadia, specialized in Stadia and marinas, that the stadium are the cornerstone of the project, of the long-term project of the football professional club. And the meaning of this is that the stadium really impact beyond the business line that are integrated in the venue during the match day and the non-match day. But well, really, we had to have this situation regretfully that it's proving this. Okay, that the stadium has great impact beyond as I said the business line that generate directly the venue. The impact is especially in the product that we offer to the audience, to the viewers, and especially also for the product that we offer to the sponsor. Okay, based on the audiences that we get through the broadcasting of the content. Okay, why is this? Because well, and this image of the stadium entry is absolutely negative for the people. Okay, so we project really a negative image, and the product that we can sell to this TV broadcaster and the companies to support the things with their sponsor is absolutely lower than what we have and what we achieve with the stadium packed and with a great crowd, absolutely crowded with great atmosphere. Sorry, but without this, is the product is small for sure in terms of values in the market. Okay, so the impact, I always show a slide during my presentation that show a revenue cake where the 1/3 part of the revenue cake is the revenue that is due to the stadium, but the stadium in the whole as a product that impacting all the outcome that the club has, impacting in the whole budget. Okay, not just in the activity in the match day, also in the match day and all business lines that are related to the club. So the club is the cornerstone. It's the cornerstone of this project. So the role of the stadium, the role of the stadium is absolutely massive, absolutely key in the long-term projects of the clubs, of the professional clubs, the modern professional clubs in Europe, that we have seen in some special cases like Atletico Madrid, for example, Tottenham Hotspur, or Juventus Turin, or Bayern München, or a lot of teams, a lot of clubs that are especially in Europe that has understood this very well, and they are basing the long-term project, their long-term project, on the new business model implemented in their stadiums, whether it's from scratch or has been refurbished in the last decade, in the last years, in the last season. So, well, this is the main point that we have to understand with this situation. So, with this setback that we have now with the coronavirus is impacting a lot in the global business. At least the 30% of the venue of the business, sorry, is going to be cut in the budget of the club in the case that this situation continues in the future. Well, the meaning of this is the business has to be updated to this new normal, new situation, new level of inputs. Okay. In the future, we'll see some changes that need to be updated due to the situation, to the situation of the coronavirus, of the pandemic, in terms of health control. Okay, trying to add our stadium, the operation of our stadium to this new situation, to this new normal. We'll have some different issues that are related to the design of the stadium. Another one will be related to the operation issues, and we'll see for sure as all happening with this kind of situation. Opportunities to improve our product in the long term, in the future, and even be better than before. Okay, trying to apply all the business lines that all the decisions that we take implementing our business line, trying to be something that is adding value to the fan experience at the end of the day. When all is said and done, what is the most important thing is to add value to our product, even when we come from a situation so hard as we are in now. Well, in the terms of the operational issue of this, we have the design. Okay, we have also the operational issue where we will have 3 different scenarios or 3 different stages. That is the access, the arrival to the stadium. The second one is during the match, and the third one is after the match, the post-match. But it's increasing a lot in the normal market. Okay, we have three different opportunities, and especially in 2 of them will have a great opportunity to improve product that we will see at the end of talk. Well, in terms of design, for sure we'll see a stadium that is gonna has wider spaces, especially in the concourses, trying to avoid that the flow of the crowd gather too much in some special points, especially in the peak hour. Okay, and this will work for there are mission location and also for premium location, and for sure this wider space turn our stadium into a better one, more comfortable, and the fan will be more keen to spend time there in the stadium. Okay, what is an aim that the industry had for a lot of time. Okay, more time inside the stadium. And another point that in terms of architectural issues will change in the future design, because we are talking about from scratch designs, okay, and some existing stadium that should be refurbished, but in the level that they can. So the second point that I was mentioning is the gates. The gates, there will be less gates, but wider gates with more areas to check the ticket. This helps the logistic for the control, for sure, but at the same time, due to the flow of the crowd, will help to raise the value of the ground inside the stadium due to the flow that the stadium gain with this kind of design, channeling all the flow during longer walk inside the stadium. Okay, so it's something that will help to improve our stadium and will help to expand business inside the stadium. This is the positive side. The positive side. Always we talk about business, but for sure the priority is the safety of the fans, of all the people. Okay, but from this we have to see the positive side and trying to add this to our product. Okay, so in terms of operational and commercial issues, we have the match day and non-match day. Especially match day, we have the arrival to the stadium that should be organized with more spaces to allow control to the people of the security, trying to not delay the entrance, the entrance of the fans to the stadium. This will affect the parking area, and this will affect the surrounding of the stadium for sure. And I mentioned to the gates that will be wider. And when the fan is inside the stadium, we have the match day. We have all the issues, all the pressure issues during the match. Okay, but inside the stadium. For sure, we'll see some special changes that will be related to the touchless system, especially with technology. Technology play a great role in the market industry right now, but has to take a next step to take it to the next level. Okay, it's not just related to experience; it's related also to the health control for sure, and this could be linked with something that improves the fan experience and the operational management of the stadium. Okay, and all the whole approach should be integrated, not just thinking on well, we need something to control, to monitor the health of the fan. Also, we are going to improve the fan experience due to these new tools that we should implement based on the technology. Okay, and from this we'll have some special issues that are related to food and beverage, especially that the service already has integrated some special approach to serve the product with care when they manage the product or when they service the product directly to the fan. Okay, but also this will change the future, and even the level of due to the restriction, the level of care of standard will be higher for sure. And also in the premium areas, we have this situation similar to the general admission situation, always that has a hospitality area need to adapt all the services to this kind of thing. Okay, but always trying to take the technology as a new standard to take the operation to the next level. Okay, and finally, in the match day, we'll have the farewell, that is the post-match. So, for sure, it's something that we're not, we don't see it too much in some stadiums, especially in the Spanish league. Normally, you leave the stadium and just when you listen the whistle, the whistle finishing the match. So. The post-match is a great opportunity for us. We need to expand the services that we offer the client. The post-match and the pre-match also. Okay. For example, in the pre-match, when we receive the fans, we have the opportunity to, we need more time due to all the controls that we need to do in the gates. So we receive the fans 2 hours before than used to normally. So we have this time to offer something new and trying to generate more revenue from this time that they spend in our stadium, creating a new fan experience in the pre-match and expanding the whole time, increasing the whole time that they spend in our stadium. So this is a great opportunity for us. This aims that the industry is a kind of American model, trying to span the match day, pre-match, during the match, and post-match. So we have the opportunity here. Okay, I repeat that the priority is the safety control. Okay, but this is something that will help us to improve our product. Okay, especially in the on the match day. The other opportunity that we have is the non-match day, because this product has been developed much during all this time in the venues that we can find in our industry, in our market, especially in the Spanish market. And well, this is an opportunity for us because we have to reduce the income of the match day due to the situation. We have time and the opportunity to increase the revenue in the non-match day. I remind always that the non-match day take the 92.6% of the time of the year round. Okay, just the 7.6% is the 7.6% represent the match day, and the 92.4% represent the non-match day. What is a massive time, a huge time to create something that is interesting for the community, for the market, and for the fans for sure, because we will have fans even in the non-match day with some special business line as to the museum or the official store linked with all this business line. Okay, so and food and beverage also. Okay, so we have the ability to create something better, improve our product in non-match day. Okay, a part of the match day. This is the main opportunity that we have. In terms of technology play a great role right now. Okay, but the technology has the opportunity to increase something that would be transitional, because well, we don't know the time, as I mentioned at the beginning of the talk. We don't know the time that we'll have to see matches with stadium empty, but it's going to be at least it's going to be on this way for some months. So, well, solution, especially because as I explained, the stadium has a great impact in the product, in the whole product of the club, in the whole product of the football industry. So we are affecting, especially to the TV rights, because the audiences, even when the experience in Bundesliga in the first week has been very good, because even has been even higher the audiences that they had, but in all likelihood, this is something that will low in the short term, because maybe this is the effect of a break non-football period, really. So this is the impact that we are seeing right now, but in the medium term, not long term, in the medium term and the short term, we'll see shrinking these audiences from the TV, from the broadcasting of the content, whether it's TV or by other devices. So as this product is going to be with less value in the market due to the reducing of the audiences, we need to look at a solution for this. Maybe we have to look to the technology, trying to create something that is a great tool for now and for the future. It's something transitional, and we have to preserve the authenticity of our product for sure. We cannot do something that is artificial in the future. As a transitional product, we need to look. We need to develop something from the technology, and in this sense, the augmented reality maybe is the right part to use to fix this situation, creating a better production, better content production, and trying to create something new that maybe can be adapted in the future to the production, and if we take care of the authenticity of the product, trying to respect the atmosphere, the real atmosphere, the real image of the stadium. Okay, maybe you can adapt something that enhance the experience during the broadcasting. Okay, this is my opinion. This is what we need to do in the short term to solve the situation that we have right now. Okay, but in the future we need to add, as I have said, in all these areas in the stadium, in the match day and no match day, and during the match day, in the arrival, during the match, and the post-match. That is the most important thing. I would like to remind that, well, the industry is not new for industry with this situation. For sure, this is very challenging, this situation with Stadium 94 and for a time that we don't know the lasting of this period, okay, we don't know lasting of this period, and for sure it's unprecedented times. But I would like to remind, and I mentioned that in the 70s we have had the arrival of the TV as a great challenge also. That was a controversy period because the TV was afraid to keep the stadium running with crowd. And well, the industry overcame this situation, teaming up with the TV. Now it's difficult to understand the sport industry without the TV. Again, the 80s we had the hooligans situation with a lot of violence, sorry, and this was used to increase the comfortability and the comfort in our stadium. In the 90s, we create our own competition. It's an inner competition. What it is the sofa experience, because we increase a lot the quality standard of the TV experience. So we create the sofa experience, which affected a lot to the average attendance in the stadium. But the answer of the industry was, well, we have to create, we have to think up again with the technology, and we have to create something unique in our stadium, but using the technology, so increase the standard, enhance the standard of the fan experience, and competing with our product that we are delivering to the fan at the stadium home. And well, in the 21st century, we received the threat of terrorism, the horrible threat of terrorism, and again we improve all the security standard during the match day, creating a new normal. We are listening a lot this phrase, this expression in all the media, the new normal. Well, we saw this new normal after the terrorism threat. Well, we increase our toll again. So right now the fan perceive these measures as something positive at the beginning of this security measures. Was something that was perceived as something negative, but now in all the service, the fund perceives these measures as something that increase their security. So it's something positive in the whole fund experience that they live and they receive. So what is my message? We need to be positive, and we have to have the mindset that we need to improve, to harness the situation to improve our product. Okay, we have the opportunity to create some things that maybe in other scenario it would have been difficult to do it. Okay, so we had the time and the opportunity to do it. So we need to work hard, aiming this goal with this situation. Well, at the end of the day, we are in front of a great opportunity. A great opportunity. This is my vision. Respecting the situation that we are living, because it's a human tragedy for sure. But we need to going forward, and we need to keep the pace, and well, it's something that we need to do if we want to see the ball rolling again as soon as possible. Okay, this is our aim, and this should be our aim and our goal. Okay, in all terms. So, well, this is my view from the current situation. Is for sure is unforeseeable, all the situation that we are living now. Okay, let's see what happens. We have to be cautious. We have to be careful with the future, with all the decisions that we will take in the next weeks, in the next month, For sure, we have to have a plan A, a plan B, even a plan C. Okay, and we need to adapt every time that we receive change of the provisions that we are receiving, and has been reported for the government, especially because one of the main points that I want to outline is well, we have to comply with all the rules. So, for example, we have an issue right now on the table that is maybe we are going to prepare the stadium, to gear up our stadium to receive a percentage of fans just during the match. Well, if the government doesn't allow this, it's going to be impossible. We have to comply with all the rules that has emerged with this situation. And so let's have accountability and be responsible with all the decisions that we take. But on the other hand, we need to be positive and to go forward, and well, hoping that all come to a situation as soon as possible. Okay, that is my insight, guys. I'll turn you over, Laura.
Thank you very much, Javier, for your confidence. It has been really interesting. Conferences like yours make us think about the need to reinvent and adapt our businesses to a new and unknown situation, and even try to take an advantage of that. Who knows? Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Now it's the turn of Beau. So, Beau, I give you the floor and enjoy. Now it's okay.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Let
thank
me
you.
just turn
So,
my
whenever you
volume
want.
a little bit. Okay, perfect. So yeah, my name is Beau Tabakci. I worked for the Seattle Seahawks until the COVID situation hit. And they basically sent everybody home in early March, which is pretty much a full month before everybody else had issues globally. And so that was an interesting situation. But so basically for the Seattle Seahawks, I worked in the employee experience department. And today I'll be explaining to you how the Seattle Seahawks use the employee experience to enhance their business. I enjoyed listening to Senior Doña's talk because it is very true in the fact that the stadium is essentially the most important part, and so you have to train all the people that are involved in the stadium to be able to enhance your revenues and have a stable business for the long term. So the Seattle Seahawks, I'll just give you guys a brief rundown of their history and all the important things that are involved, or all the important things that they do. So they play American football in Centurylink Field in Seattle, Washington. And they formed their team in 1976 and have a very strong fan base. And they even retired the jersey number 12 in honor of the 12th man. There are 11 guys on the football field, and so the 12th man is essentially the fan. In the late 1990s, it was bought by Paul Allen, who was a founder of Microsoft. He saved the team from moving down to Southern California. It's fairly common for a lot of teams that are not doing very well to move to a different city to restart their business and enhance their revenue streams. But Paul Allen saved the team from moving down to California and kept them in the Pacific Northwest. And ever since then, we've been having a lot of success on the field and off the field. And it culminated into a Super Bowl win in 2014, which is the largest competition in American football. So the venue, it's called Centurylink Field, and it's right next to the water in Seattle, Washington. It has a capacity of 72,000, and it was built in 2002, just after Paul Allen bought the team. He tore down the old stadium and built a brand new state-of-the-art facility. So right now it has the widest variety of food and drink in the U.S. And the award-winning chefs and restaurants are all here in Seattle, and they also are all in the venue. So to basically, best leverage this amazing facility, we hire 3,500 employees to work every game day. So that's a lot of people that we invest in, and that's the main focus of my talk today, is those people. Another thing that we did was there was a cashless system that we implemented in 2019. So effectively, you can't use paper money. This actually shortens the lines, makes people, their interactions with the concessions a lot shorter, which basically gets them to watch the games for a longer period of time. And the Centurylink Field is the loudest venue in the NFL. That kind of goes back to my point earlier about the 12th man, how important that is. When the other teams are trying to call plays or figure out some situation on the field, the loud venue allows for this home team advantage, so that they can't organize their plays and stuff like that. And then also another great fact about Centurylink Field is they have a 97% diversion rate, which means that 97% of all of the trash does not go to all the landfills. It's actually compost or recycling. So only 3% of the trash on game days goes to the landfills. So as I said before, you can build a state-of-the-art facility, but if you don't have the people and you don't invest in the people, the 3,500 people that we hire every game day, if you don't invest in them, that is almost for nothing. You can have a great restaurant come in, but if you don't have people that are smiling, having a good guest experience for all the fans, then it's basically for nothing. So basically, happy guests is increased spending. The happier you are, the more apt you are to spend a lot more money when you go to a game day. Also, the second important part of the guest experience is how it plays with the sponsorship activation that all these companies that are sponsoring or that are partnering with the Seahawks or Centurylink Field, if you don't have people that are providing a good experience for that sponsorship activation is not worth as much to the company that's coming in and partnering with the Seahawks. Also, the better experience that people have during the game, that increases the demand and price for tickets. We had such a great guest experience that 94% of our season tickets are season ticket holders, and so that's for the stability of the business. This is a very important thing. And also, the higher the price, the higher the expectations of the guest experience are. So you are actually expected to provide this better experience. And being that the Seahawks are the third most expensive game day, so that basically demands that our guest experience is among the best in the NFL. So employee experience. Some of you might be asking me, what is the experience? Why is it important? Who works in it? So basically, the employee experience is defined as a set of psychocognitive sentiments about the experiential benefits of employment. So basically, that means how employees view the company that they work for. So going back to those 3,500 employees that we employ every game day, how do they feel about working for the Seahawks? Are they happy? Are they frustrated? Are they excited to come into work? Do they respect their fellow teammates? And these things all play a significant role in their happiness working the game day. So this is a human resource activity that's basically based in the culture of the company, and the culture of the company is established by the upper management. And so the employee experience is basically a tool that is used to decrease employee turnover rates, so that people stay involved, stay employed by the Seahawks instead of going somewhere else for a better employee experience for the same amount of pay. So the people that are the monitors of the employee experience professionals are basically tasked to establish, monitor, and improve the employee relations, thereby decreasing the employee turnover rates. Because employee turnover is very expensive, especially if you're hiring and rehiring the same people. You have to go through this whole process again of onboarding. So the employee experience activities that are specific to the Seattle Seahawks, I'll go over those really quick. The team is tasked to host new hire orientations, and we call them draft pick kickoffs. It's using the notion of this sort of draft pick thing, that we're picking them to work for our team, So they basically, in these orientations, we define our culture as an entity. We introduce our leadership principles that we would like them to follow. We tell them how to treat those that they work with. We also tell them how to treat guests in our stadium on game days. We tell them, what attitude we expect them to bring to each shift, and we also give them a very thorough stadium tour, so that when they do start working, they can confidently direct fans to certain places. throughout the stadium to basically increase our revenues. So if you're looking for a really good burger place, every single person that goes through a new hire orientation knows exactly where those best burger places are and can direct them confidently to that restaurant. We also teach them our principles of safety, care, look, and function, all of which are defined to them and are things that we repeat fairly frequently. It's kind of like our mantra as a team. We also, another thing that we do for the employees is, we run these recognition and appreciation activities. So we basically have a reward menu where, they accrue points by doing safety, care, look, and function, showing those. And so as they accrue more points, they can get some gifts, certain things signed by players, a nice blanket or whatever they want to get. And then we also run the events that are basically for them to recognize them as and appreciate them as our employees. And then also we improve the strategies of engaging our employees. So, whatever we do, we have to analyze that and try to improve it for the next time we do it. And then we also look at other top companies that are running similar things, top companies that are in the same industry or maybe not, and see what they're doing to improve the engagement with their employees and how they avoid turnover and things like that. So the new hire orientation will go into that a little bit more in depth. So it's a 7-hour orientation geared towards all of the new hires, regardless of position. So, if we hire a bartender or a guest service professional, or maybe even a warehouse guy, no matter what their position, they all go through these things. And these people are typically, maybe they're college educated, maybe they're not. So there's a wide variety of people that we get to interact with and get to orient to our stadium and to our business. Some of you might be asking me a few questions like, why do they need to know all about the stadium? It's really important because our stadium is a very, very nice stadium, and we have a lot of food, a lot of drinks. We have the widest variety in the United States. So every employee, maybe there's a retail person that's selling a jersey, and someone says something, like a customer says something about like, oh, I'd love to have like a great, I'd love to have a great beer. Okay, well, we can show you where the the nearest beer hall is and tell you about what's there, and maybe they go to that beer hall, maybe they won't, but at least they will know enough to confidently direct them in the right location. Another question that some people might be asking is like, who cares, what they treat each other as long as they are being polite, to our guests? Well, that has a lot to do with our culture. We believe in treating everybody the same, whether you're a guest at the stadium, whether you're our employee, whether you're our, the top executive at the stadium. Everybody gets treated the same, and with respect and dignity, and so that's something that we believe as a culture, as a entity. And then also kind of the similar thing with, why would a line cook, need to know about a leadership principle? Well, that's part of their growth that we would like to facilitate. We like to treat people, all the same, and we would like to educate people on how to become leaders instead of just, another employee. We like everybody to lead, so that if they see an issue, they're able to immediately, remedy that issue with, confidence. And then after orientation, after we introduce our culture and our business, they basically go through a onboarding process that is 4 distinct steps, and they're all tracked on a physical sheet of paper that gets passed from manager to employee to employee experience professionals, and then on to HR. So the first step is the orientation, and after the orientation, we sign it, they sign it, and so that everything that we taught, they understand and fully understand before they start their first shift. And then at their first shift, their manager will also sign off on all of the pre-shift information that they're required to give the new employee. And then after the first shift, another time after the first shift, maybe their second or third shift, they'll sign again saying, okay, like I've had this question, that was answered, and now we can move on to a more complex issue. And then the fourth step is 1 month after the orientation, we check in with them again just to make sure everything is going to plan and everything that they need is there. In addition to this, we also send the employee an anonymous survey to ask about their onboarding experience. Did they get all the questions they hadn't answered? Is there anything that we could do better so that we can improve our onboarding process? Because it is a fairly expensive process for our business, and so the better we can streamline these things, the better suited we will be in the future. So. And then I'll move on to our COVID-19 specific response. So after all of the employees were sent home in early March, we spent about a month or so researching, how to reset, how to look forward, how to improve our businesses, and I was involved with that until early April, and then they completely send everybody home, and a lot of the part-time and not tenured employees were laid off, and just to save their revenues and better prepare for the reopening of all of the sport facilities. And so also during this time, Centurylink Field has been a hospital, part-time hospital, or for a short period of time they're a hospital, and then also they're doing a lot of meals for underserved communities out of the kitchens that are in the stadium. And so this is a great outreach activity for the Seattle Seahawks, and to basically polish that brand image, and so all I have for everybody today, and I will hand it back over to Juan for his talk.
Okay, thank you very much, Beau, for your very interesting presentation. Now, in a quick rest, I'm glad to introduce Spanish Sports University, which is the department specialized about sports studies at our university, in which I have the pleasure to be the coordinator. At the Spanish Sports University, we embrace a huge different file of sports studies, but I will introduce only the related with sport management and marketing. The first one will be the MBA in Sports Management. We have both versions in Spanish and in English. The teaching faculty is from the first level as academical and as a professional field. As students of our programs, you will have the opportunity to realize national and international travels to visit the most important entities of the sport fields, and our curriculum are designed to provide the comprehensive and fulfilling education. Also, we have the master's degree in sport marketing, designed to provide to our students a complete vision of different files as sponsorships, legal aspects, communication plans, who have an impact at the sport marketing, and how the students could develop a professional career at this area. Both of them are from Madrid campus, and in the Madrid campus we have MMSA/MBA completely in English, with a curriculum to prepare the next generation of sport managers, with an amazing teaching staff. We are very lucky to have someone of his experience and knowledge as Javier with us. Also, they have the travelers national and international, and the master degree in direction and management of sports entities, the Spanish version. Also, we offer different courses from Barça Innovation Hub, some of them related with sport management and marketing, whom are certificated by Barça Innovation Hub and UCAM Spanish Sports University. Please check our web, and we are waiting for us. Any doubt that, please let us know. Thank you very much, and make of your passion your future. Now you can make your question in the chat. Thank you. Okay, the first question is for Javier from Jesus Garcia. Javier, how do you think that the spectators would come back to see their teams after COVID-19?
Well, in several times, Jesus, because in terms of capacity, as I mentioned in my presentation, we are thinking, the industry thinking into allow some stages gradually allowing a percentage of the capacity at the beginning of the first stages, okay, and try to increase the percentage in each stage. So, this is something that is difficult for me, in my opinion. Why is this? Because the social distance that is allowed at the moment, by the moment outside the stadium, is 1.5 meters, 2 meters more or less, is a recommendation. So that you are not able to be contagious by the other guys. So if you do this in a stadium, it means that really you have to be free, you have to leave free at least 2 seats between two guys, between two fans, at least, okay, 2 seats, because the seats is normally between 40-45 centimeters. So you're in 2, you achieve more or less 1 meter. So what is the meaning of this? That maximum you can have an attendance of 30% of the stadium at most. Okay, so this is something that is not feasible for the stadium operation. Why is this? Because you have a lot of cost involved in the operation of the stadium, even when you open the doors just for the 30% of the crowd. Okay, because you have security, you have a lot of things. Okay, but at the same time, it's difficult to control the movement of the crowd, the flow of the crowd, especially when you have a stadium imagine of 50,000 or more than 50,000 seats, trying to control the movement of these guys, of the fans that are approximately 10,000, 15,000, at least. trying to respect this distance. Okay, through the concourses, through the hospitality areas, through the access, so during evacuation. So this is possible. This is not possible for me. This is really tough to do it. Really difficult to do it. So, well, my opinion is this is not going to be the solution in the medium term, in the short term, and in the medium term. So my opinion is that it's not to be open. The stadiums are not going to be open until we will have a buzzing. Okay, this is my opinion by now, but it's changing a lot all the information that we are receiving from the government, from authorities, and really it's difficult to foresee something right now for everyone, not just for me, for the Stadia advisors, it's for everyone. So let's be careful with all the situations that we have. We need to adapt every time that we receive new data and new information from the authorities, and let's see what will happen in the future. But my opinion is or closed door or open 1% of the capacity. This is my opinion.
Thank you very much, Javier. The next one is for Beau. Do you think that soccer will be so attractive to American people as American football?
I get this question quite a lot, and I think that at some point it will be similar, but I don't think that it will ever be as attractive to all American people as American football, because you know, there's such a rich history and culture around American football that is very specific to the United States. You don't see it anywhere else in the world, and whereas soccer is something that you see everywhere in the world, and so everybody, in certain parts, like in Seattle, like where I live, soccer is very widely popular, and you see just as many people at soccer games as you do in football games, and at the youth levels, you see more kids playing soccer than American football because it's safer and more attractive, and people, it's easy to play, and it's very cheap to play, soccer, whereas football, you have to buy pads, you have to buy helmets, you have to buy expensive gear, and so in terms of accessibility, soccer will always be the most accessible sport. But in terms of popularity with TV broadcast and things like that, I think that American football will always be a little bit ahead of soccer in the American public.
Thank you very much, Beau. If we don't have any more questions, only thank you for our participants, especially for our lecturers, Javier, Beau. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure. My pleasure
As well.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for everyone.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
So stay safe, everyone. Okay.